Welcome back to the channel. I am your humble host, D-Base. That's talent on loan from Co-op. You found the Mormon movie reviews where LDS movie lovers belong. Let's talk about post-Mormon or ex-Mormon movies. We're talking about films or shows that feature lead characters that are Mormon, yet don't necessarily portray them or the church as a whole as saints or divine. They're not anti-Mormon films where the main purpose is to attack or lead people away from the LDS church, and they're not part of traditional Mormon cinema where the films are generally made for active LDS members and often have some underlying message about the divinity of the LDS Church. In the early 1900s, there were several silent movies that dealt with Mormons. Almost all were negative towards the church, such as the films A Mormon Maid and A Victim of Mormons. Most of these films revolve around the idea of a Mormon man kidnapping a non-LDS woman and then forcing her to become one of his many wives. In 1940, a young Vincent Price played Joseph Smith in the Western Brigham Young.
What's this about you folks calling yourselves saints?
Well, we believe that any man, dead or alive, who keeps the Ten Commandments is a saint.
You don't pretend to be the Lord himself, do you?
No, I'm just a mortal man, same as you or your friend here.
Well, this plan of yours you call a united order, what's that?
It's not my plan. It's the Lord's.
Well, whoever it is, what is it?
Well, I suppose you'd call it the law of nature. You see, it's his idea that the land of Zion will be sort of like a beehive. Or like that anthill over there. With everybody doing his share of the work and getting his part of the profits. A place where everybody will have everything he can eat and use. There'll be great storehouses to keep food and things in for the sick and the poor, the old folks. You see, under a brotherhood plan like that, it'll be impossible for any one man to pile up a lot of goods or have power over his neighbors. That'll mean there'll be no social distinctions, no caste, no special privileges. Any more, I take it, than there is in that anthill over there. We had it once, but somehow we've all but lost it. We've got to get back to it again.
But that sounds all right. But then there'll always be lazy people, ambitious people. There'll be some honest ones and some dishonest ones.
What I'm telling you, Brother Brigham, is a revelation from the Lord. It's up to us to work it out. This isn't an easy religion.
Well, I'm not looking for an easy religion. I'm looking for one I can bring my family up decent in.
Joseph, dinner is ready.
Won't you stay and have dinner with us?
Well, thank you. We'd be glad to.
All right.
The LDS Church began to produce their own films in the 1950s. Films like Johnny Lingo, Legacy, The Testaments, and many more. And you can find many of those reviews right here on this channel. And then we get to modern Mormon cinema. In 1999, Richard Dutcher made God's Army, and he became known as the father of modern Mormon cinema, and thus MOLLYWOOD was born.
Where are you from? From Kansas? Well, you're not in Kansas anymore, Elder.
You're not here to do good for yourself. You've been doing that for 19 years. You come here to do good for other people.
Can that hurt? Oh, yeah. You know we're missionaries, right?
Sure.
So you know what we do.
Yeah, you're kind of like nuns, but you're men.
Hi, I'm Elder Allen, and this... You're not going to convert a single soul because it's not about you.
Hey, you lonely today, Elder?
Oh, I'm lonely every day. You read that book I gave you? The Lord converts them. They convert themselves. We just teach by the Spirit.
Would you mind if we left with a prayer?
Feel the waves rising all around us. Tell me, where can we anchor?
I like to read.
Oh, really? What would you say are the 3 greatest books ever written?
I think I read one of Steinbeck's back in high school. You know that one where he takes that rabbit and he strangles it?
Of Mice and Men. It's a short one.
Read that book we gave you?
No. I read it.
Could someone like me teach the gospel? Be a missionary, I mean.
Absolutely.
What would you think if the apostles and the prophets weren't telling the truth? And what if telling a big lie?
Read those books I left you. A lot of things in there you should know. He is wrong, isn't it?
I can teach you the rules, I can teach you the discussions, but what you really need to know, what's going to get you out of bed in the morning, I can't teach you that.
Mother in heaven. This bus goes right through Kansas City.
And I can't convert you. Come with me.
Get up, your granny just went AWOL.
Thank you, Elvis. Thank you.
We're closer to truth than we know.
All right, let's do some good.
For the next several years, there was an onslaught of Mormon movies. This includes The Singles Ward, The RM, Baptists at Our Barbecue, The Sons of Provo, The Home Teachers, Mobsters and Mormons, Brigham City, and many more. And now we've arrived at Post-Mormon Cinema. A perfect example of this is Plan 10 from Outer Space. In 1994, the Utah-based filmmaker Trent Harris made the absolute bonkers film Plan 10 from Outer Space. Aliens from the planet Kolob descend upon a Mormon community in Utah in this bizarre cult film starring Karen Black. Truly probably the weirdest film you will ever watch in your life.
I really didn't mean to say that. I'm sorry. I really am.
And let's not forget about Orgazmo. You know, Trey Parker, along with the producer Matt Stone, made the 1998 sex comedy Orgazmo. Parker stars as a Mormon missionary who becomes a porn star to pay for his and his fiance's wedding.
Welcome to Hollywood.
In a city of sin.
What would you say if someone offered you peace and happiness through all of eternity?
He was a missionary.
Have a nice day.
On a mission.
Hi, my name's Joseph Young. We're with the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Boss? Some guys from Jesus?
Are you making a movie here?
Yeah.
Well, what kind of movie is it?
It's an action...
Need a hand?
Adventure...
That's handiwork.
Porno.
You make me so horny.
Like as in pornographic?
And I want you to take over as the leading man in my film.
Come on, boys. Grease them up.
And action!
Give it to me, you big stud!
Check that out, man.
Keep your mouth shut!
Sorry, dude. Got a little excited. I can't. See, I have a fiance.
$20,000.
Is it enough so that we can get married?
It's $20,000. I have to think about this.
Yeah. You start at 10 o'clock. Have you met our new Orgazmo?
Your Orgazmo. I'm your sidekick.
My sidekick?
I help you out with my specially designed sex toys.
Oh.
Action!
Not afraid of Orgazmo.
Did someone say my name?
Come on, boys. Let's get it on.
Yes, sir. This is supposed to be erotic. Do you want your money or not?
I have had enough of your poop. Get out of here. You don't own me.
You want to bet I don't, punk?
find yourself another Orgazmo.
Joe! Joe, help me!
Lisa, where?
Will you shut up?
Orbison took my cupcake.
You and I need to do something. It's the Orgasmorator. I made it work.
Now you're putting me on.
You can use the Orgasmorator as a weapon.
Where's my fiancée, buttlord?
Who the hell are you?
I'm Orgazmo.
Curses!
Here to save Hollywood.
Man, these European videos are kinky. That's a bad dog.
And then the world.
Farewell, evildoers.
Orgazmo.
You know, I don't want to sound like a queer or nothing, but I think you've got a really nice ass.
Battling Eva has never felt so good. Orgazmo.
Yeah, there you go, buddy. Get some.
Parker and Stone went on to found South Park, and they lampooned the origins of Mormonism.
Oh, that's a great story, Sarah. All right, kids. Now how about we do some scripture readings from the Book of Mormon? All right! Ow!
The Book of Mormon? What's that?
You know, the book that Joseph Smith found.
Who's Joseph Smith?
Only the most important person in the world.
You never heard of him?
No. Tell us the story of Joseph Smith again, Dad.
Yes,
Dad. All right.
All right, you rascals, gather round. Joseph Smith lived in a little American town in the early 1800s.
Dee-da-dee-da-dum. Joseph Smith was called a prophet. Dum-dum-dum-dum-dum. He started the Mormon religion. Dum-dum-dum-dum-dum.
There goes that kooky Joseph Smith. You know, he claims he spoke with God and Jesus.
Well, how do you know he didn't?
Dum-dum-dum-dum-dum. Joseph Smith was called a prophet.
Hey, Joseph, I told my wife that you spoke with God and Jesus, and she didn't believe it.
Well, it's true. I did.
Where?
I was out in the woods, praying. I was asking God if I should be a Protestant or a Catholic or what. And suddenly, God and Jesus appeared before me. And they said I should start my own church because none of the others had it right. And that's exactly how it happened.
You see? You believe it now?
Well, yeah, sure. Why would he make that up?
Dum-dum-dum-dum-dum. Many people believe Joseph. Dum-dum-dum-dum-dum. And that night he saw an angel. Dum-dum-dum-dum-dum.
And please bless Mother and Father. And please keep our bellies full of yum-yums and luscious goodies. Ah! Oh my gosh!
I am Moroni. I am a Native American.
A Native American? But your skin is white.
Yes, long ago all Native Americans were white. We all came to America from Jerusalem, and while we were here, we were visited by Christ.
Jesus lived here in America?
Yes, eventually my people were all killed by the other tribe of Israel. And as punishment, God turned their skin red. These are the Native Americans you know today.
Dum 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 dum.
There is an ancient book buried near here, written on gold plates that account my people's lives. Also buried with the book are two seer stones, the Urim and Thummim, which will allow you to translate the writings. Find it and fulfill your destiny.
Wow.
Dum 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 dum. Joseph Smith was called a prophet. Dum 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 dum.
And we all know what happened then, don't we?
Yeah, I know.
What happened then?
Ooh, the Rice Krispie squares are done.
Rice Krispie squares! Rice Krispie squares!
Hey, gang, let's wrap some more of them up in plastic wrap and hand them out to the poor.
Oh, yeah, I can't wait!
In 2011, Parker Stone, along with Robert Lopez, showed the world their latest creation, the Book of Mormon Musical. The musical has made over $500 million to date and is the 13th longest running Broadway show.
2 by 2, we're marching door to door, 'cause God loves Mormons and he wants some more. A 2-year mission is our sacrifice. We are the army of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I believe tomorrow is alive. I believe the joy and all the things that matter. I believe tomorrow's a bigger, better latter day. I believe tomorrow is a latter day. A happy ending on a latter day. Tomorrow's a doper, better latter day.
In 2003, director-writer C.J. Cox released the powerful film Latter Days. Latter Days, as opposed to Orgazmo, is a serious attempt at dramatic cinema. The film is about a Mormon missionary in LA who falls in love with his neighbor, who just so happens to be a man. Joseph Gordon-Levitt also stars in the film as a missionary.
We're from the Church of Jesus Christ.
Just a moment. Honey? Stacy, you'll want to hear this.
What have we here?
So, what is it that you guys do?
Talk to people about our church.
Oh, really? Chris likes to talk to people.
They're Mormon missionaries. Swear to God.
Oh.
I dated a Mormon guy once. His family put him through shock therapy.
Where did we end up last night?
I don't know, but I woke up without my bra. That's never a good sign.
I wouldn't worry about it.
Well, what's your first name then?
We're not allowed to use them.
What? Why not?
We're not allowed to do a lot of things.
It's Aaron. Gross!
Nothing happened here,
We
guys.
walked in here and you're saying nothing happened?
You found me out, all right? My worst secret.
Do you know how repulsive that is to God, to everyone?
I wish my shame was enough for both of us, not to mention the shame you brought to this church.
Your church doesn't like alcohol or homosexuals. I'm definitely not joining.
Wait, are you still not over missionary man?
I don't know.
Listen to you. You are turning into a chick.
You tell me one thing in your life beyond a shadow of a doubt that you really believe.
I believe Anne Margaret has never been given her due as a night actress.
Duh. You want angels trumpeting down from heaven. What if this is it instead? Me telling you I love you. I think that's pretty miraculous.
And let's talk about Trapped by the Mormons. One of the most famous early anti-Mormon movies was the 1922 silent British film, Trapped by the Mormons. It is considered the reefer madness of Mormonism. It's an over-the-top look at the dangers of Mormonism, played completely straight. The film is about a Mormon man who hypnotizes women into becoming his wives and sex slaves. And in 2005, former Mormon filmmaker Ian Allen made a remake. It's fairly faithful to the original, that is, until the vampires show up. And what about Big Love? Bill Paxton stars as the patriarch in a fundamentalist polygamous Mormon family. The series was on HBO and began in 2006, and it ended in 2011.
You once, twice, 3 times.
Yes, I have 3 wives.
And I love you.
Bill's our husband. We're all one family.
Yes, you once.
This is what you signed up for.
Also on HBO was the miniseries Angels in America, which deals with the 1980s AIDS crisis. It features a lead Mormon character and heavy LDS symbolism and themes.
Look up. Look up.
Are you one of those follow me to the other side voices?
No, I am no night bird. I am a messenger.
What? Tell me.
Chaos, baby. Lesion number 1.
AIDS is what homosexuals have. I have liver cancer.
You can call it any damn thing you want, Roy. But what it boils down to, you have AIDS. Why are you dressed like that?
You don't like it?
Nurses are supposed to wear white.
Doctors are supposed to be at home in Westchester asleep.
Sorry, sick friend.
Ask yourself what it was you were running from. It's about time you did. And what are you running from now?
You should never have married me. You have all these secrets and lies.
It's the hardest thing, forgiveness. Maybe that's where love and justice finally meet.
The shit's really hit the fan, huh, Roy? The fun's just started.
I'm not safe here, you see. Weird stuff happens. In this world, there's a kind of painful progress. longing for what we've left behind and dreaming ahead.
And let's not forget September Dawn. In September Dawn, the horrible Mountain Meadow Massacre gets the Titanic treatment. Made in 2007 about the 1857 event in which Mormons dressed up as Native Americans massacred over 120 settlers. The film follows two fictional characters, one Mormon and one settler, in a forbidden Romeo and Juliet type romance. The biggest controversy from the Mountain Meadows Massacre centers on who ordered the attacks. The film takes the position that it was Brigham Young.
I am the voice of God. And anyone who doesn't like it will be hewn down.
On September 11th, 1857, in an unspoiled valley of the Utah Territory, and in the name of God, 120 men, women, and children were savagely murdered. Who ordered the massacre and why has been hidden in a cloak of secrecy and conspiracy, and the reputation of one of this nation's mightiest religious figures has been preserved and protected until now.
Mormons, do your duty!
Jehovah created me to be your God on earth.
These people are different. I find them interesting.
We have a duty to perform. It's a duty we owe to God.
Tell me what's happening.
It's too late for everybody. It started. It's too late.
Do you think he's God on earth? Oh!
They're not innocent.
We take a solemn oath to never discuss this, even among ourselves.
And there's lots more offerings to choose from. The Book of Zombie is a 2010 no-budget film about Mormon zombies. And let's read from the official IMDb logline, which reads, a small, sleepy Utah town gets an undead wake-up call when all of the townspeople of Mormon faith suddenly transform into flesh-eating ghouls. Now, a group of non-believers unaffected by the mysterious epidemic must now band together to survive the night and answer the burning question: how do you kill a Mormon zombie?
If, you just want to stay here.
One night. One night.
I'll do it for the beer. And for you.
Can we come in and tell you about the good news?
Night, boys.
What the hell is going on?
Anything strike you as odd?
Well, one of them is eating Mrs. Hample.
Who the hell are those people?
Mormons. My prognosis: unkillable.
Electric Children is a 2012 film about a 15-year-old fundamentalist Mormon girl who feels she was impregnated through music. She travels to Las Vegas to find the father of her baby. The film was written and directed by former Mormon Rebecca Thomas and stars Julia Garner, Rory Culkin, and Billy Zane.
This is Rachel Angela McKnight, born May 8th, 1996, 15 years old. A few weeks ago, I experienced a miracle.
What is that?
That's a cassette tape, but its purposes can be used for evil, so we'll keep it to those who can be trusted.
And the angel said unto her, Fear not, Mary.
What are you doing?
And behold, thou shalt conceive in thy womb and bring forth a son.
I think God got me pregnant through that blue tape.
Rachel! Pull right over right now.
I accelerate down a road I have not yet traversed. I travel beyond the red bluffs of a home I cannot again call my home. In search of the father of my holy child, the man who sings on the cassette tape.
Where are you guys heading to?
Do you want to come?
Do you guys notice the beautiful women out here?
We'll find the guy.
You baby.
In 2012, filmmaker John Garcia wrote and directed The Falls, which tells the story of two Mormon missionaries falling in love with each other. Garcia made the film PG level, although there is a brief nudity scene, so active Mormons couldn't watch it. And there's been 2 sequels to that film.
And you must be my new companion, Elder Smith.
Yes, you must be Elder Merrill. So where are you from again?
Salt Lake City.
Oh.
You're from Idaho, right?
Yeah.
So today we have a meeting at noon with David Fellows.
Isn't this a revelation on polygamy?
We know the Book of Mormon is true. Elder Smith and I can tell you in detail how it has changed our lives and the lives of our families.
You have a girlfriend back at home?
You guys in church? What's been going on?
20. Get out there and live a little bit.
Elder, it's okay to have doubts. Everybody does.
I know. Joseph Smith retired to the forest on a beautiful, clear spring day. He knelt down and he began to offer the desires of his heart to God.
Mormon love is forever is the tagline to this 2013 thriller, Missionary. Missionary is the fatal attraction of Mormon-sploitation movies. Elder Brock has a torrid affair with a married woman, and then he becomes a little too obsessed with her. He stops at nothing to prove that they should be together forever.
I'm going home, oh yes. I'm going home, oh yes. I'm going home, Lord, Lord. I'm going home.
Hey there. How are you today?
Hi.
Great. We'd like to share a message about Christ with you and your family. Do you have a minute? Do you mind?
We'd like to thank thee for leading us to this wonderful, wonderful family today.
I wanted to thank you for helping out with Kesley.
It's our pleasure. I mean, he's a really good kid.
What are we doing? I'm 10 years older than you and we're sleeping together.
What we're doing is so right. It's two lives drawn together by God's hand.
Hey, look at Dagon.
I love this family more than anything. You guys must be the Mormons, right?
Hi.
I should have never let it go down the path that it did. It's just a mistake.
I am not a mistake.
This is not a solution.
Ian?
Have you guys seen Kesley Kingsman?
Pretty sure he was with that Mormon.
You need to find them right now. That guy is dangerous.
What the hell do you think you're doing?
I've already replaced you with your wife. And soon enough, I'll do the same with your son.
I need to get a restraining order.
Restraining orders don't work.
No one is ever gonna separate us again. We are meant to be together.
In 2017, the series Room 104 came out on HBO. Each episode runs about 30 minutes and features a different set of characters checking into a hotel room, Room 104. The 7th episode is titled The Missionaries. It is about 2 Mormon missionaries that accidentally turn on the TV to a porn channel. It quickly goes downhill from there with beer and coffee. And the dreaded act of calling each other by their first name instead of elder.
I have urges.
You need to pray for forgiveness.
I don't want to pray for forgiveness.
Well, what do you want to pray for?
A sign.
What kind of sign would that even be?
I don't know, but I'm excited to discuss and explore with you.
I gotta give it all I got. I've been giving my blood, sweat, and tears. I've been doing this for years. I gotta give it all I got.
Is this the sign we asked for last night? It was crazy.
Yeah.
Let's highlight 3 short films that are available to watch on YouTube right now. Bad Mormons is a 19-minute film about Mormon missionaries that get into some wild mischief.
Wake up, you dingus.
What time is it?
It's already 8:50. That's liquor.
God damn it, Jack!
Shit.
Killer Missionaries is a 15-minute dark comedy film about some missionaries that attempt to save a man from killing himself, but then as always, happens, and then the Jehovah's Witnesses show up.
Hi, I'm Elder Holloway, and this is my companion, Elder Benyon. We're here today to share a message about the gospel of Jesus Christ. Do you have a moment? You seem like a believer. Elder, run! Good doggy. Christ is trusting us to spread his gospel to as many ears as will hear. Nothing in the whole world is as important as the work we're doing as missionaries. You need to decide if that's what you're really committed to. Elder! Fetching shit. You're capable of more than you think, Elder. You could be a killer missionary if you tried.
The Touch of the Master Hand is an 11-minute film that deals with a missionary confessing his sins to his mission president.
Presidente, hay algo más.
Tiene un testimonio de José Smith.
Sí.
Vive en los convenios.
Sí, claro.
Vive la ley de castidad.
Sí.
Es honesto con sus semejantes.
Sí.
Está mirando pornografía.
No lo sé.
The Mormon Proposition is a 2010 documentary that examined the LDS Church's support for California's Prop 8. Now, Proposition 8 would ensure that only a man and a woman could legally marry. The film is narrated by former Mormon screenwriter Dustin Lance Black.
Last month, the California Supreme Court made history by ruling for equality in marriage. We're gonna make history.
What better day to get married than this historic day?
This young girl literally just ran up to me. She says, "Thank you for giving me 2 mommies."
As Deputy Marriage Commissioner, I now pronounce you partners in life. You may kiss.
They're probably the greatest threat to America I know of.
The gays?
Yeah.
The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is organizing the California Proposition that defines marriage between a man and a woman.
The only way you can win any ballot measure is money.
The church had contributions made through their members.
This is how much you make. This is how much we think you can give, or you might lose your membership.
Mormons believe that their prophet literally is in communication with God.
There will be nothing that can defeat us.
If God puts in the scriptures that it's a sin to live that lifestyle, then he's not going to have them born that way.
Your equality is an illusion.
I can't believe that people could hate us this much. They don't even know us.
Yes, Mommy! You're taking away my rights! No one hates!
Shame on the homosexual community!
We know the voice of the Lord. When he wants us to do something, we know how to do it.
Gays interrupt the Mormon plan for heaven.
They have gone ahead to stop same-sex marriages.
I was disturbed by California becoming the first state to take rights away by changing its constitution.
The Mormons make up 2% of California, but accounted for over 71% of the contributions.
Find it just amazing, the church that's running as if they're a political action committee.
Who gave the money? How was it spent?
The Mormon Church spent a lot more in non-monetary contributions than they reported. I mean, we're talking Obama kind of money.
They were the man standing behind the curtain that you're not supposed to look at.
Do we have the same equal rights that you have?
Yes, we can! Yes, we can!
You're not just talking about the law. You're talking about people.
Justice for all!
This is about making a stand for what is right.
This is simple. This is just love.
And let's cover one more documentary. In 2018, Believer features Imagine Dragons lead singer Dan Reynolds exploring how the LDS Church treats the LGBTQ+ community. At the time of the documentary, Dan Reynolds was an active yet open-minded believing member of the church.
I don't know that I can think of many more opposite worlds than that of a rock star and that of a Mormon missionary. I was told this was Dan Reynolds. Love your music. I'm struggling a lot with self-acceptance because of my sexuality. I have no idea if you support same-sex marriage since you are a Mormon, but if you do support it, thank you a lot, and it means the world to me. I know that there's so many people like this. If I'm passive, I feel like I am standing then for bigotry. I was always taught that if you want to make a difference in the world, you start with your community. There are far too many Mormons that are taking their lives.
Everyone is made the way that they are, and I was made to be gay.
When I came out, he was like, no, it's just a devil, and he slapped me really hard.
He just didn't feel safe in a place that he should have felt the safest.
What if we put on a big event in Salt Lake City? We're doing this festival on August 26th called Love Loud. We want it to be a safe space for everybody to feel the love and acceptance together for our LGBTQ. And we want them to hear it with resounding cries from all across Utah.
For some Mormons, this will be the first time they'll listen to someone who is LGBTQ talk for more than like 5 minutes.
I want to love myself and not feel shame.
Being an openly gay man performing with my band up here should speak volumes. I am happy, I'm proud.
I'm not gonna just walk away and let the house on fire burn. I'd rather do all that I can with this lucky spot that I've been put in to hopefully put out a fire.
And how about one more documentary for you? Tabloid is a 2010 Errol Morris documentary about the strange case of Joyce McKinney and the mangled Mormon. Joyce was accused of kidnapping and chaining to a bed to rape a Mormon missionary in the late 1970s. The unusual case became big in the tabloids for a couple of years. In the documentary, the filmmakers interviewed Joyce 30 years after the case. She brings up Mormons often, mainly to disparage them, as she claims to believe it was the Mormon leaders who brainwashed the missionary into saying he was kidnapped and forced into the act.
Once upon a time, there was a little princess, the most beautiful little princess in all the land.
Kinky sex, religion, a beauty queen, Mormon missionaries, kidnapped at gunpoint. There was something in that story for everyone. It was a perfect tabloid story.
When I met my Kirk, it was like in the movies, when Juliet looks at Romeo and it's pew.
She had fallen in love with him and become obsessed by him.
The next thing I know, he vanished into thin air. I found him in England. The Mormons had him.
Joyce set up this plan.
I knew there was only one way to get Kirk out of Mormonism, and that was to make love with him. Kirk and I went to this cottage. We made love for 3 days. It was like a honeymoon.
This bizarre story began here last Wednesday. A young Mormon missionary was kidnapped, driven to a house, blindfolded, and his legs shackled.
I couldn't believe it. It was just like shock.
It was in all the papers.
Were you surprised to be put in prison?
I really didn't feel I'd done anything wrong.
Scenario number 1, fake gun, chloroform, tied up, sexual impropriety. The second version is Joyce's story. The Mormons get him, brainwash him, and all of a sudden he's claiming rape.
A guy either wants to have sex or he doesn't. That's like putting a marshmallow in a parking meter.
The British Isles was on fire with the Joyce McKinney story.
I was a celebrity.
She was having the time of her life. Disguises and wigs.
Worms crawl out of the woodwork when you become famous.
They had a tip, 38, 24, 36. Your fantasy is her speciality.
The press went crazy.
They said I was a whore.
Oh my heck, as they say in Utah.
She went barking mad. She disappeared a day later.
It's not a porno story like these crazy newspapers have tried to make. It's a love story.
You know, you can tell a lie long enough till you believe it.
Now, there are many films about waking up from a fake reality, such as The Truman Show, The Matrix, or Pleasantville. One underrated film in this genre is The Invention of Lying. The film is set in an alternative reality where lying doesn't exist. Ricky Gervais becomes the first person in the world that discovers how to lie. On his mother's deathbed, he decides to lie to comfort her and tells her that there is going to be an afterlife and that she shouldn't be worried. Soon, word spreads and the whole world wants to know about this afterlife. He then gets caught up in more lies and ends up creating his own religion.
I'm Mark. How are you?
A little frustrated at the moment. Also equally depressed and pessimistic about our date tonight.
Sure.
Imagine a world where everyone can only tell the truth.
I had a little sip of this from right there.
I'm with him right now. Seems nice. A bit fat.
She's way out of your league.
No, I won't be sleeping with him tonight.
About everything.
I loathed almost every minute that I worked for you.
All the time.
I've always hated you. You've always hated you. I didn't know that. Yeah, a lot of people know it. Don't you wish you could change things?
How much are you going to be withdrawing today, sir?
$800.
It says here that you only have $300. It seems our system has made a mistake. Here you go.
Today, I stumbled upon something that no man has ever stumbled on before.
the world's first lie.
This fall,
I said something that wasn't.
Huh?
I'm black.
I knew it.
I'm an Eskimo.
Fantastic.
I'm a one-armed German space explorer.
When's your launch date?
Mark Bellison will discover
I can have my life the way I want it. You're losers, doesn't really count. Good, I settled then.
the truth
I'm different now.
Are you better looking?
No.
Did you buy new clothes?
No.
Have you been to the gym?
No.
about lying.
Why do you hate Mark so much?
Because he's a loser. You want to marry a strong genetic match and maybe one day have children that aren't...
Little fat kids with snub noses.
Exactly.
If you could make the world the way you wanted it to be, if you could do anything, what would you do? The world's gonna end unless we have sex right now.
Do we have time to get to a motel, or do we need to do it right here?
Ricky Gervais, Jennifer Garner, Jonah Hill, Louis C.K., with Rob Lowe and Tina Fey.
Do not have sex with anyone unless you are married to them, is the rule. What's this?
Birthday coupon for sex. What am I gonna get you now?
But hold on, though.
The Invention of Lying.
This is the greatest movie ever made.
There's just so many classic movies about cults, and in fact, lately there's been a lot of shows about it, and documentaries and shows on TV, Netflix, Hulu. One recent movie is a 2019 thriller entitled Them That Follow, which is about a group of Pentecostal snake handlers. There are several scenes that feel as if they were inspired by Mormonism, and the pastor's name is Lemuel. What's interesting is that if you look up the film's director, Britt Poulton, you'll find out that she was raised a Latter-day Saint.
They're so beautiful.
You're beautiful.
Who you choose, girl, chooses your whole life.
My daughter has turned into a fine girl, and a good man has asked for her hand.
He never laid eyes on something so pure.
We're never gonna make any sense.
What's rustling, you girl?
You're the only thing that makes any sense in this place.
When the devil creeps in, you need someone to see the truth even when you don't.
Now you got a choice you got to make.
I couldn't find my way to the truth of it. She ain't listening to the spirit.
The serpent will purify you. The serpent will cleanse you. Come on. Come on and get clean.
Is everything all right?
We're a community, son. She can't be a part of you no more.
You could burn for this.
Oh, no.
Those that believeth in me shall be saved. In my name. Get out.
There are limits to what I'll let you do to me.
Get out!
In 2021, Netflix came out with the three-part miniseries Murder Among the Mormons. The series tells the story of Mark Hoffman and the forgeries that he sold to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Later, when he feared he was about to be discovered as a fraud, Hoffman committed murder to try and cover his tracks. The series was co-directed by Jared Hess of Napoleon Dynamite fame.
The only way to keep a secret between two people is to kill one of them. It's kind of true.
The state of Utah has long been the home of the Mormons.
I love the gospel with all my heart.
They are driven by history, and they want to preserve documents.
Mark Hoffman found document after document.
First edition's History Americana, worth $1.5 million.
He was a rock star.
Religion sometimes breeds amongst people some extremes.
The first explosion ripped through a downtown office building, killing one man. The second explosion outside of a holiday home claimed another life.
Panic began to ensue because 2 bombs suggest a serial killer.
Then the shock came.
There are very expensive documents in the automobile.
This is an original?
Yes, this is an original copy.
The Salamander letter gave a far different story of the church's roots.
Instead of God and angels, now it's salamanders and magic.
This material was potentially devastating.
People who wanted to protect the church didn't want this document to come to light.
There's a speculation the church was trying to acquire it in order to suppress it.
Everyone's a suspect.
What do you think about lying for the Lord?
It just started snowballing.
Machine guns, bombs.
We all should have suspected. Secrets just can't be kept.
In 2022, Netflix released the miniseries Keep Sweet, Pray, and Obey. The series interviews several former LDS members who speak about the evil deeds their former prophet, Warren Jeffs, would commit.
In our minds, the police, even the President of the United States, had no authority over us. Warren Jeffs is our president. He was the prophet. And how could you place a human over God?
Known as FLDS. It's a far offshoot of the Mormon Church and supports the practice of polygamy.
The more wives, the more children you have, the higher in heaven you'll be.
When you're taught something from birth, from your mother and your father, you believe them because they're your parents.
It was for our salvation. You did whatever it took, even if it was wrong. One day, my name was brought up and I was to be married. I was 14.
Warren Jeffs took over this religion and turned it into money and power and sex.
Young girls were like a commodity owned by the church.
Warren had himself 78 wives. 24 of those wives were underage.
We're going to go after the criminals, and we're going to go after the child abusers.
To stand up against a multi-million-dollar church, you're going up against a lifetime of conditioning and fear.
He took their families away, took their homes away. Might as well have just lined them up against a wall and shot them.
You don't fight the priesthood, you don't fight the prophet. But it was so much bigger than just Warren and me.
It happens to everybody eventually. You will come around and see the light.
We love you.
I love all of you.
And go, what the
Sweet spirit of prayer.
Former Latter-day Saint and screenwriter Dustin Lance Black wrote and produced the hit 2022 series Under the Banner of Heaven. The series follows a devout Latter-day Saint detective investigating the brutal Lafferty murders in Utah. The show also depicts many scenes from early Mormonism, including Joseph and Emma Smith, not to mention Brigham Young. The series seems to support the conspiratorial theory that Brigham Young had Joseph Smith murdered so he could take control over the church.
A woman and her 15-month-old child were murdered in their home. We aren't a community that usually locks its doors. The evidence points to things and to beliefs that I have only ever heard whisperings about.
I don't go digging in the past. And neither should you.
An evil presence is in his family.
What if this case isn't just a husband who turned against his wife? What if tonight is just the first edge of a bone? Finally working its way out of our own desert's floor.
Hands up right now!
This goes beyond just a murder. Beyond everything I believe.
In 2022, Netflix released Sins of Our Mother, which documents LDS author Chad Daybell and mega Mormon prepper Lori Vallow, who were both arrested for murdering their children.
How are you, Bubba?
I'm not good, Mom.
I'm so sorry.
Are you sorry for me, or are you sorry for my siblings? I would have never thought you would have ever done something like this.
What is it that you think that I've done?
Mr. Sandman, bring me a drink.
We did have a wonderful family before this happened.
Oh, hello.
My mom has spent her whole life protecting us kids.
Being a good mom is very important to me and a good wife.
Honestly, Lori and Charles looked like they had the ideal marriage, but her beliefs had become a lot more extreme.
After she met Chad Daybell, she changed.
Who the hell is Chad Daybell?
We can prepare ourselves to survive through these trials.
Chad Daybell believes there will be an apocalypse, the people that are righteous survive, and that he can distinguish evil spirits from good spirits.
I fought in this war for millennia.
2 detectives come and knock on the door. Is Tylee or JJ here? I was like, Tylee, my sister? I call my mom, and her phone's dead.
Charles wrote, she calls her own daughter a dark spirit. My throat fell in my stomach.
If you are very dark, your spirit has left your body. You're a zombie now. And the only way to free your spirit is to kill the body.
I had this feeling in my spirit.
So what's going on tonight?
I can't get in touch with my kids. Something felt wrong.
This case quickly became a national story.
Where are your kids?
Lori, please let us know that JJ's okay. Please just let us know. We need to see him.
Is JJ safe? He is safe and happy.
911, what's the emergency there?
My mom was just playing every card on everybody.
Oh, I'm sorry that you don't really fully understand the situation.
Being all those things together is not easy, so I'm basically a ticking time bomb.
Belief really will take you to a different place.
Hulu released this 4-part series, Mormon No More, in 2022. And here's the description from IMDb. Follows the inspirational journey of Sal and Lena as they navigate their way out of the church, out of their marriages, and into their authentic selves, all while co-parenting 7 kids with their ex-husbands.
I felt very devoted to Mormonism. But when you find out the truth, it's earth-shattering.
I was Mormon for 20 years. I was so deeply entrenched in Mormonism, like I was in it to win it, like it was my life.
I convinced myself that if I didn't live that way, it's Satan tempting you.
Satan's distorting marriage. God's revelation can only be attained through an eternal marriage between a man and a woman.
We were creating the perfect Mormon family. And then I fell in love with my friend.
Yeah, I'm like stupidly in love with her.
To figure out you're gay when you're 33 years old.
Sexuality is a very strange thing, let me tell you. You can't avoid the truth forever. So I sat on the couch with Paul, and then he guessed it. He like blurted it out and just said, "Are you gay?"
It wasn't just learning that she was gay, but it was also learning that I didn't really have a choice in the matter.
That was really hard for me. The speed of which it all happened just flipped my whole world upside down.
You're feeling nervous, aren't you, boy?
Leaving the church was leaving who I was.
She just said, "I'm sorry, Mom, I'm sorry."
I had suicidal thoughts. I felt like I lost everything.
Sometimes hard to talk about.
The sad thing is that our experiences are not unique. This trauma happens to so many people. And even though it's hard, you know, I don't regret anything. Our story and the lesbian ex-Mormon story coming from straight to out is not something that's been shared very much.
It definitely hasn't been easy.
But I feel like our story needs to be told.
I get the rest of my life to live my truth. This beautiful feeling of fulfillment.
Who am I without Mormonism?
I love you. I love you too.
What nobody tells you when you're Mormon is that there actually is another way.
Heretic is a solid thriller horror film about two sister missionaries who knock on the door of a very creepy Hugh Grant. The filmmakers tried to give a fair take on Mormonism in this movie. You actually end up rooting for the Mormons and rooting against the creepy atheist. The filmmakers were not raised in the church, but clearly put in the work of researching about it.
Hi, good afternoon, ma'am. Are you interested in learning about our Savior, Jesus Christ? Hi. Good afternoon. Hi, my name is Sister Barnes, and oh my gosh. Are you interested in learning more about the Church of Jesus Christ?
Come on in.
We can't come inside unless another woman is present.
My wife is home. Does that count?
Great.
You like pie?
Yeah.
My wife has pie in the oven.
I could tell that you are a very spiritually curious person.
I think it is good to be religious, to find your faith in a doctrine you actually believe.
Well, our work here is done.
Now, I will go and check on the pie.
So sleep, silent angel.
You fit through this? You're crazy.
We just need to go home.
I won't keep you if you wish to leave. But I want you to choose which door to go through based on your faith.
What does this have to do with us leaving?
Everything.
I think that we're being studied.
It will make your hearts beat faster. It may even make you want to die. Do not be afraid. You will witness a miracle.
Filmmakers in today's day and age often have to make features by pitching their screenplays to producers and investors. Most of these projects are typically low budget, but still need some type of budget. And this brings me to one of my favorite post-Mormon cinematic masterpieces, Ronald's Little Factory. The script is about an awkward Mormon boy and takes place completely inside of his bedroom. The film is inspired by Boyd Packer's 1976 Little Factory talk. In this talk, Packer likened reproductive systems to little factories and talked about the evils of touching your own little factory. The film is also inspired by a supposed anti-masturbation pamphlet written by Apostle Marky Peterson. One of Peterson's suggestions on how to keep yourself from committing this supposed sin is to keep your hands tied to your bedpost while you sleep.
Can't believe my little boy will receive the priesthood tomorrow. If you pass.
Within your body, you have the power of creation. It might be likened to having a little factory in your body. Do not be guilty of tampering or playing with this sacred power of creation. It is of the devil. Latter-day Saint young men are not to do this. It is of the devil. It is of the devil.
Ronald!
No, wait, Mom, wait, Mom, no,
Ow! I didn't do anything. I was trying out a magic trick. Then I saw Star Search.
This is my house, and you will not contaminate it with your sick sexual games. I call it Sister Hissom.
Really, Mom, the Relief Society president?
I need some emotional support right now, Ronald.
You wasted God's seed. How many little babies did you kill in releasing your seed?
No, I'm not calling you a murderer, but those are my grandbabies. I can't find the keys.
What do you mean you can't find them?
They aren't there.
Matthew 5:30. If your right arm offend thee, cut it off. And if your eye offend thee, pluck it out. Pluck it out.
No! No! No!
What is your name, demon?
Fear not, though the enemy deride. Courage, for the Lord is on our side.
The Holy Ghost shocks me every morning when I'm bent over on my knees. In prayer.
It is of the devil. It is of the devil. It is of the devil.
And there you have it, folks. A quick rundown of Post-Mormon Cinema, movies for Latter-day Saint sinners. Let me know in the comments below if you've seen any of these movies and if you'd like me to review them. Thanks so much for joining me on another episode of the Mormon Movie Reviews, where LDS movie lovers belong. So long.